everybody, Big Daddy Biggs, West Louisiana Beef Farm, and I know a couple of weeks ago I told you that I was going to do a video on the boxes that I'm starting to use, and well, this is that video. So what I've been using, what I started building again this year, let me just give you a little backstory. A couple of years ago I was using decodes Nucs, and then I found some things that I didn't like about them, so I quit using them, and then 2 years went by and I saw them again. You know, I've got real bad ADD and short-term memory loss sometimes, and I forgot the whole reason I didn't like them. So I started building them again because, oh, they're cheap, they're easy to build, blah, blah, blah. Well, I built a few of them, and then I remembered what exactly it is I don't like about them. They are good boxes, but they're not good. They're not conducive for the things that I want to do with them. That's not to say don't build them. I think they're actually good boxes for what they're for, but they're not for me and what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to do 5-frame beekeeping. I want to actually be able to stack my hives, and I can't do that with the decodes boxes, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But the reasons I don't like them, let me grab this. First of all, the bottom has a bottom. It's fixed to it. You can't take it off. That's okay if you're just building colonies to overwinter, or, you know, if you don't want to go any bigger than just 5 frames in that same size box. So you can't stack this, and even if you build the box the same dimensions except leave the bottom off, you still can't stack them on top of each other. Let me show you why real quick. Can you see that? That is a gap where when it rains, the rain's going to go in. Now, if you'll look down the edge, you'll see that it is perfectly squared up with the box underneath, but there's a gap. Let's go to the back here. See, I've got it just close enough to the back to where it's closed off, but you got a gap up here. Sure, you could make the box bigger, I suppose, but then it's going to cause a problem up here for your frames and your frame rest, and it just, you start changing things and things kind of start messing up. Also, this little edge right here, even if you get it to seal off, to get up flush like it is in the back, if you get it like that up here, you're still going to have rain settling on this and then going down into your hive. So that's my biggest complaint about it. Second biggest complaint, these boards. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but this board is warped. It will not seal off on the top of that hive. That's not a problem everywhere, but our humidity here is so ridiculous here in West Central Louisiana that you're not going to get away from this. This is going to happen to your decodes hives here. Maybe some people have better luck. I haven't. I honestly haven't. So the reason that's a problem, if you put this lid on top of your hive, then there's going to be a gap on either end. And in that gap, if you've got say you're doing a 2-frame walk-away split, well, that hive isn't big enough to kind of protect itself. And then you've got the problem with robber bees coming in and getting into that gap. Well, they can't guard all of that space and the hole, the front entrance, together, so you're going to end up losing a hive that way. This is why these are my cons against the decodes boxes. Now, I'm going to say it again. They're not bad boxes, but they're not conducive for what I want to do. So I am going to show you what I'm doing. And I'm going to set this right here. I'll set the camera here. This is not the lid that I'll be using on my box. This is not my design, but it's just my idea. And you have to see the whole thing. Now, I don't have the lid down here. We'll go get it in a minute, and I'll show you what's going on with it. You take these frames out here. And this is only a prototype. This is not the real type. I'm going to give you the measurements on this. It's a very basic box. The reason for this board in the bottom, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but the reason for that board is to keep the box from bowing, because it will bow. It was actually already bowed, and I just pulled it together, nailed and glued both sides of this board in. It's exactly the same dimensions all the way down. It's not going to warp now. So I can stack these. If I just make this box, and nothing else, I don't have to make a top and I don't have to make a bottom. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. It's going to cost you a little bit extra, but it's negligible, really, in my opinion. So what you do is you make the box, and then up here, and then down here on the bottom as well, both ends, you put a frame rest. I nail them in. It's just a 1/2-inch strip of wood that fits perfectly in there. And then I don't even know the dimensions that I go down, but I go down far enough to give it the bee space. Let me turn this just a little bit. I go down far enough to give it the right amount of bee space up here at the top, so you don't crush bees when you put the lid back on. I'll show you again what it looks like. Oh, first of all, I want to show you this. When you make this, make sure you glue all of your corners. Make sure they're well glued with wood glue, because that's going to give you the extra security. Of course, I nail them all the way down. I use a brad gun to do that, and I'll brad the frame rest in there and glue it. The glue is just extra insurance. Okay, let's go ahead and put these back in. Well, putting them in wrong. Hello. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and I'm doing the wrong way. You'll notice that these frames are resting somewhat on that board at the bottom, so that just means I'm going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment on my depth or where my frame rests are at. So that's all adjustments I can make. I'm going to go get the lid, the top and the bottom, and show you how that works. Be right back. Okay, so we're back down here at the bee yard, and I wanted to show you the box. Here's the actual box we were using. I went ahead and brought it down here, and here's what we've got. For the bottom, that is a ceramic tile. It's a rectangular, I think it's like a 12-inch by 24-inch ceramic tile. Fits perfectly for a bottom board. You put your hole right here. You got your bottom board. This is Reflectex, this stuff right here, the shiny stuff. Real cheap stuff, goes a long way. And you do exactly the opposite up here on the top. You put your Reflectex down, you put your tile on there. And look, the tile and the Reflectex, that's not my idea. I kind of gleaned that from Sam Comfort on his Comfort hives. You can look him up and see what he does as far as his hives go. But yeah, I mean, it works. It absolutely works. Let me show you a colony that I brought through the winter. And I say I brought them through the winter because, you know, it's late January here. Our winter time is basically over. Not completely, but it's close. This is the colony. And I know you can't see much here. You see a little activity. I just put them in this. This is a, it's not even a long Langstroth. It's a Tanzanian top bar. Let's see if you can see anything underneath. Maybe you're catching that. I don't know. All right, so here's the box. This is the box I brought them through the winter in. Got brand new frames in there because I swapped them out for what I put in the Tanzanian top bar. If you look real close, maybe you can see the entrance hole on the other side. I got to go quick because my battery's running low. But this was the box that I brought them through the winter in. So it works. I've had them in here since last April. And I've taken a lot of splits off of it, as a matter of fact. But that's it. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. You see how they're stacked? There's a couple of more, and they work. It's not complicated. Just build a box. Put some floor tiles on the top and bottom. And one more thing about these floor tiles, not a single one of them. During Hurricane Laura, we had 120-mile-an-hour winds right here on this property. Not a single floor tile blew off of my boxes. I didn't tie anything down. Boxes didn't blow over, lids didn't fly off. So, I think there's something to say about ceramic tile. Hey y'all, it's Big Daddy Biggs. Y'all have a good day. Like and share that. Okay, it has started raining, so I'm going to do this kind of quick. On the depth of the box, you want to go about 10 1/4. Not sure if that's showing up or not. For some reason it's blurry. Maybe the rain. You want to go 10 1/4. I would say 10 3/8 because of the problem we saw with the frames resting up against here. So I'd go 10 3/8, give it another 1/8 of an inch, and that way you're not resting on that board. As far as the distance goes, you're looking, or the width, the distance. Listen to me. Okay, it's showing up somewhere between 20 1/4 and 20 3/8. Let's see what the other end. I'm not sure which I was shooting for. Well, tell you what, I cut straight, don't I? You could probably go 20 1/4. You got quite a bit of room right here. So 20 1/4 on the length of it. And y'all, like I said, it's raining, so sorry, I'm trying to get this done kind of quick. The inside measurement here, see, it's an inside board on both ends. It's inside. I think this is like 7 1/2, dead on 7 1/2. So there's your measurements, and I'm gonna get out of this rain. One last thing, I actually forgot. And here's one of my boxes that I'm overwintering. I forgot these guys, gals, were even here. Ceramic tile floor, ceramic tile top. It's been wet as the dickens here. We've had some really bad rains throughout this winter, and they're doing fine. Just wanted to share that with you before I go.